Okay, hello everyone that is watching this client interview. Welcome to yet another client interview. Again, very used to saying that in the past few months. I'm joined by another one of our amazing clients called Daniel, yet another silent shark in the building who does barely post anything and just pops out of the blue with a massive win. And yeah, in today's interview, we're going to discuss Daniel's story, just like we always do, and find out a bit more about his business. So, Daniel, obviously, myself and you, we've spoken just before this, and obviously, we communicated on school when you joined. For the people watching this right now, why don't you introduce who you are, who you serve, and the transformation you deliver to your market?
Yeah, good question. So, who I am, I run a company called Align Flow. Actually, I didn't mention this to you, not, we actually have two niches, which I know is criminal right now. So yeah, I don't really want to say that to the whole world, but it's Cairo and it's kitchen, bath, and bedroom showrooms. I don't know if you want me to go into it really why. Pretty much my business partner's running one side, and then
Got it.
I'm running one, but I'm doing the sales for all of it really. It was mainly just because I hit a decent chunk of Cairo in UK, and so I wanted to kind of go into a different niche. Now in hindsight, I don't know if it's a good decision because like we're very established in Cairo now, um, and like we get a decent amount of referrals. A lot of people know about us, but I've learned a lot more about higher level marketing since doing kitchen showrooms because it's a different level of product and it's a different type of sales. So it's yeah, probably should have a niche. And so yeah, anyone listening, if you're thinking about starting an agency, don't think two niches. But yeah, I'm sort of doing that right now. But I am very focused on the kitchen side.
Yeah.
And what we do is yeah, lead generation, Facebook advertising. Yeah, been doing it. Started doing agency stuff uh, when I was 17, 18. Did it at school when I was, and then I was like studying, had a couple free trial clients, and then kind of took it full time about a year ago, and then joined
Yeah.
EasyGrow 4 months ago. I probably maybe answered a couple of your questions there and before.
Yeah, that's it. Amazing, man. Amazing. I'm gonna dive into deeper about the two niche thing because I did not know that, so that's
No,
funny.
I don't know if I want to. I feel a little bit embarrassed. The
No,
boys in the group are all like slaughtering me for it, but
no. You made it work to be fair. So fair
it's worth it.
play. That's it. So Daniel, just to paint a picture in the viewer's mind, why don't you tell them where you were at before you joined with the agency in terms of rev and stuff compared to where you are now? Fast forward, 4 months later working with us.
Yeah, so I was two. So I'll do it in pounds. 2K pounds. Like when I first joined, was yeah, like didn't have any predictability with sales, appointment booking. I don't like. I look back now and I'm like, I was doing 500 cold calls to get a meeting, and like it was just so. That was a big reason for the move because I like cold calling, but Cairo cold calling, anyone who's done it, it's not it.
Yeah.
Um, and then yeah, just joined Trial by Fire. That video, I listened. I was listening to it for a long time, every single gym session. Like probably listened to that video maybe 20, 30 times now. I need to probably go back to it and just sitting in the Trial by Fire. Still in it now, very much in it. Hit the 10K now, so that's where I am 4 months down the line. Hit 10K in pounds, which is feels all right. Doesn't really feel like anything that like I hit it and I was like writing the post that I didn't really want to write the post, but yeah,
Yeah.
feels okay. But I've got a long way to go still, as I kind of mentioned to you earlier. No,
Yeah,
and
that's it.
really the biggest thing has been the sales side, the appointment booking, just like the trial by fire, the community as well has been like a big thing, a big shift. Like being, I ran it for a year pretty much on my own, like with my business partner, but
Yeah.
not really seeing what other people were doing, not even knowing that doing financial calls was getting me was bad, and
Mm.
then joining, communicating with other people, and then seeing the standard, and then just like letting everything just rise up with it, and still rising massively like every single day,
Yeah.
just connecting with different people, which is
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of where I am. So 2K to 10K, 4 months.
Yeah, that's it. And that's in GBP. So to people watching this, just to avoid confusion, if you're probably wondering why the numbers are different, we always convert it to USD as we appreciate how that's a universal currency of the online world. So it'll be around 2.6K to 13K USD, which is amazing. Before you joined, Daniel, talk to me about how the situation was like with your agency. Like what problems were you facing and what ultimately drove you and your business partner to take the leap and join?
Yeah, so I watched Charlie for way too long before buying. I should have bought more. Like I was that guy who watched him for maybe a year. Like
Yeah,
other people who like sometimes we go through action threshold in EasyGrow, like it's one of those common terms we talk about sales. I think I just had such a high action threshold. I think I probably still do have such a high action threshold. Uh, and so I just watched so much. And he, in my head, and I had £10,000 worth of value,
yeah.
like so much value, so much value.
I'm literally reading your post right now there where you mentioned that. So yeah,
Yeah,
carry
yeah,
on.
yeah. It's literally like I so much value before I'd even joined. It was like a no brainer. It was just like when I was ready. I I still feel really like poor now, like really poor. And so then I think I had 10K in the bank, and I still needed like I had to really like it was a big jump, even though like there's people who jump in when they're first starting, which is like really good. I would recommend people do that. But for me, I just had to kind of figure it
Yeah,
out on my own a little bit, which maybe is like helped me get to where I am now. Which is yeah. So that was kind of like one of the biggest things. That's where I was. I was struggling with appointment booking, didn't
yeah,
have much structure, didn't have systems, didn't really understand much, was just sort of banging my head against the wall.
yeah,
And then like now, like the cold calling's good, sales is a lot better. Um, and just like the overall, like with the help with the service delivery, everything's just got better, way, way better.
yeah, yeah.
And now I'm out of
So
Spain.
that's it. That's it. Enjoying the sun, man. Enjoying the sun.
Slightly. I'm still in the trial by fire, so doing 16-hour days, but Spain.
Yeah.
Take the weekend off.
That's it. At least you can enjoy the sun then. But yeah, Daniel, quick one. Just to touch on, that period where, like you said, you were banging your head against the wall when it came to figuring out appointment setting, sales and stuff like that on your own. Most people watching this would argue that's what they want to do before diving into, a paid program, for example. That's something that a lot of people do. On your end, just to paint a clearer picture here, how were you trying to figure it out? Was it like a guessing game on your end? Were you trying to use like free resources on YouTube? What did it actually look like when you're trying to do everything yourself?
Yeah, it's a good question. So I think it was just that I was just trying to figure everything out on my own, but listening to so many different people. So like now
Yeah,
it's on YouTube. I don't really watch YouTube anymore because I've got everything I need in the courses. But now it's just Charlie. Only subscribers, Charlie. Everything else is off.
yeah,
No feed, no nothing. And then at the time, I was speaking to a lot of the competitors, like not speaking with them, but watching them and having information coming from everyone has their own process. And I knew that Charlie's was their bows and yours, they're all that's the best way, and that's what I was watching the most. But sometimes I was watching other people trying to piece it together, and
yeah,
it wasn't working. And yeah, just like really a lot of trial and error. But I guess like to go back to the question of like what should people do? Like don't I wouldn't recommend banging your head against the wall because most likely as well
yeah,
you probably will give up. You're more
yeah,
likely to give up if you haven't got the support. Because like now, I see so many people they're winning, they're making a load of money, they're doing what like kind of like what I'm doing now and way above, and not seeing that probably did have an impact and kind of slowed it down for me.
yeah, yeah,
Which yeah, as I said, it's got I'm here now, and but it would have sped me up a lot, and I wouldn't have had to like with service delivery as well. Like I know a lot of people slack on the service delivery. Obviously, the
yeah,
appointments booking stuff and everything is fantastic, but the service delivery as well, like having to figure that out was like really tough on my own. Like literally, I
yeah.
was doing free trials and I was just like pretty much wasting clients' money trying to figure it out, which was it worked out in the end, but
Yeah,
now
it's not
now we
ideal.
know.
Yeah, that's it. There we go. Yeah, and yeah, that's a key thing you said there early on where you mentioned you're just watching from everyone. So what tends to happen, it's a cross contamination of information. So you can get like, I don't know, three, four amazing guys in the market, whether it's Charlie or some other people, right? They might all be saying great things, but it's different. So so that you as a consumer, you're just cross-contaminating different paradigms, different information, different forms of execution. And then when it actually comes to actioning, you're left banging your head in the wall because you're like, why is nothing working? So I think that's another key thing where when it comes to the argument of right, oh look, everything's on YouTube and this and that, 100% people do see some level of success from just focusing on free resources and YouTube. I mean, Daniel, like you said, you got to 2K prior to joining the program, but look how long it took you. And at the same time, information is just muddled everywhere. So that's really key. When you actually joined the program, Daniel, obviously, naturally, you probably had some, reservations, because it's a big investment. I want to ask, was there any fear on making the purchase, or was it like a no-brainer for you? And if there was a fear, would love to know, what that fear was.
Yeah, these are really good questions, not just by the way.
Yeah, putting
These
you
are
on the
good questions.
spot.
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, there was definitely fear.
Yeah.
And even though I knew, liked, trusted you guys way
Mhm.
like so much, I think I think it was just that I knew once I did that, it was going to get like really serious. Like last 4 months have been serious, like really serious. Like I was business full time before, but maybe I was like, because I have done a little bit more of the digital nomad stuff before now, hopping around a couple of countries, but it just wasn't like now it's serious. And I knew like once I did that, it was going to be like, this is it. That was a big thing. Obviously, the investment was a part of it as well. Um, and I never really actually, it was probably like one of the first ever sales situations where it was vice versa, where I was in the seat. That because I didn't jump on any other calls with competitors really. That I'd never been in. So it was an interesting situation where I had the pressure of like having to make the decision.
Yeah.
But it was also a no-brainer because like for me, 19 right now, and even yeah, when I bought it, it was June, so people were still at their uni. Like because I said to myself, I'll do a
Yeah.
gap year because when I like this time last year, I was making no money, even though I've been trying to do it for a while. Uh, and I was like, that's what university for you, and you're going to get way value than university. And that's kind of
Yeah.
the way I looked at it. Is like if I take 4 years to just work on a business, like I'm probably going to learn way more than someone who goes to university.
Yeah.
And that's what I think a lot of people my age should do. Just do a year, give yourself a gap year, and then just see.
Yeah, that's it. 100%, man. 100%. Rather than, you know, travel or do whatever in your gap year, just try build something, because that could
I've
set
still
you
been
up
to
for
12
life.
countries in the last 12
Yeah, do
in
it
the
at the
last 12
same
months.
time.
Yeah. And
There we go. Amazing. So just talk to me about what do you call it? When you joined the program, Daniel, what did day one look like? Talk to me about, how you approached it, your general flow of things, and what you tackled first.
acquisition genesis, which I definitely need to go over again. Tebow, who's also got video testimonial, I think he said that he's going through it every quarter, which I think that and trial by fire. And yeah, I definitely need to go through acquisition genesis again. It's so you go through that, and that was like there were so many times like, oh wow, that makes sense. Like that's really good. Like that's so helpful. Then the mindset module was such a big thing for me, and that's why I've watched trial by fire that video so many times because it just really sums it up. And so I think it took me about 2 weeks, and I was like going really hard at it. Like I was probably doing cold calls for like 6 hours a day, and then every like the rest of the other like 8 hours, I was just going through the calls, and I just got through it really quickly. 1 week acquisition genesis, 1 week self transcendence, and then I can more get into the implementation because you kind of need to do that to get your foundation, and then you can build up from there. And then still was like signing some clients at the same time, doing cold calls. So, but then you get onto the paid stuff, onto the appointment booking stuff,
Yeah,
and that's when I saw a big difference because then you're getting onto the actual implementation.
yeah.
Because then I
Exactly.
had structure with sales, structure with cold calling, which I just didn't know. Like I was doing cold calls before when I was just dialing number. I had no clue, really no clue how many. I roughly judged it was around 500 for a meeting, but I
Mm.
don't. Yeah, I still not 100% sure.
Yeah. Let's unpack that a bit more. So, with your appointment setting before, like you said, Daniel, it was up in the air, and you were just throwing calls at a wall and hoping someone books. How did it change after you went through the appointment setting, like modules in the program? Like, what caused you to ultimately have structure now? What changed?
The script was one thing, the tracking was another. The similar to what's in acquisition genesis, the tracking is so important, and I've needed to implement that throughout the whole business, and I need to do it more. Like there's so many, like I've hit a milestone, a stepping stone, and now, but there's still a long way to go. I need to get better at all this sort of stuff that I'm mentioning now, and yeah, so it was a big one. The tracking, the script, And then just like the trial by with cold calls, it is a lot about quantity. And that's why the mindset really was a big thing.
And with the when it came to what do you call it? The sales side of things, Daniel. What did your sales process look like before joining compared to what it looked like after you went through, the program?
Yeah, so I remember when, because I was kind of in a weird transition phase. So because when you're going through acquisition genesis, you're going through self transcendence. You're trying to book meetings, but you haven't got to the sales process yet. So I would just jump on the call. I had like 15 questions laid out, and then after I got to the question bit, I didn't even know what I was going to say. I swear, I didn't even actually know what I was going to say. I was just freeballing it, and I think I might have got one client in that time, and then it started to get a lot better since uh, since now actually implementing the sales process. And like the script is really good. It gives you so much structure and the tracking and recording your calls, going over your calls, objection handling, the coaching. Like Jack knows he's a beast. So yeah,
Yeah,
I don't need to tell him that, but the coaching's really good as well.
that's it. And speaking on the coaching, like obviously we've got the program and there's like tons of like video content. How have you found the overall support in the community in terms of not just school support, but specifically the coaching calls? Because as you know, like there's so many different coaching calls on different topics that even I'm starting to lose count sometimes. It'd be great to hear your experience with them in the past 4 months and how, they've been helpful or how helpful they've been to you.
I think I've only probably been to about 50% of them. Like not actually of the actual calls, but like the types
Yeah.
of calls.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
the sales was a big one for me. So I've been to a lot of the sales coaching. That's been a massive needle move for me, with what Jack's doing. And then the service delivery stuff with Jimmy, that's been really helpful as well.
Mm-hmm.
Been to some of Hunter's calls, with the cold calling, all of it's super. And then some of Aaron's as well. Aaron's helped me out
Yeah.
a lot because
Yeah.
I
Shout out to
actually
Aaron.
knew Aaron before, I joined EasyGrow.
Yeah.
So that was yes, I mean he helped me out a bit as well with some of the stuff.
Yeah.
The coaching's like it's just like I imagine if I had just bought it straight away, how I would never have had a question. And like I'd have never got frustrated. Well, I
Yeah.
would have had a question, but I would have just got it answered in like
Yeah.
24
Yeah.
hours rather than having to just trying to figure it out on my own, waste clients' money. And
Yeah.
now but it's nice having that there when I do still have questions that I do,
Yeah.
especially on the sales side. On the service delivery side, we are getting good process down, which is nice.
Yeah. Perfect, man. And yeah, for people watching, the names that Daniel just described there, some of the names, Aaron runs a lead nurturing call. So that's specifically a call centered around how to increase shop rates for either your own agency or for your clients, right? And it's sort of like an extension to the service delivery module. Service delivery calls with Uncle Jimmy. We call him Uncle Jimmy because he's got uncle vibes. So shout out to Uncle Jimmy.
Yeah, I did. I actually just did a criminal offence right there, calling him Jimmy on his own.
Yeah, yeah. This disrespectful, man. Disrespectful. But jokes aside, we got the sales coaching with Jack, and then we've got I think you said Hunter, right? Hunter does cold calling
Yeah.
coaching. So, and again, that's just a few of the calls that we've got going on, and Daniel hasn't even leveraged all of them, which is amazing. So yeah, killer stuff, man. In terms of like service delivery, let's touch on that for the moment because I know, we spoke about how appointment setting, you fix that, sales, you fix that. With service delivery, how did you go about fixing that by using the program? Because I know, again, you were just testing with different clients, hoping things work. How did you go about finding some structure from looking at the modules?
Yeah, so Bo has a module which is really underrated. So I just watched that when I was eating breakfast over like maybe a 2, 3 week period, and just so many little things. It's just like problems that you don't know are gonna come your way, but you prepare for them. And so
Hmm.
anyone who, when they got maybe their 3K plus, should go through that and just it shows you how to set everything up properly, so everything is in order, which then really helps with just being prepared for the future. And so that was a big one. I've with the service delivery, I knew a lot of the Facebook side, but then moving into the kitchen side, because we were always doing Facebook lead forms, I never had to do anything like landing pages and funnels and anything like that. So that's been a benefit of moving and having two niches because I've had to do higher level marketing, which the course has helped and the high level
Yeah,
stuff. like I had a very good understanding of high level before I joined, but if you didn't, it would be like it'd be incredible. Going through that would just save you so much time and having the
Yeah.
experts. But yeah, I can't go back and speed up. Maybe save myself 6 months or something. But wish I could.
That's it. That's it, man. And yeah, with the whole service delivery side, yeah, there's so many things going on. Bo's going to be extremely happy about that, by the way, because we kind of have a bit of banter with him saying, "Oh no, no one watches service delivery, everyone watches acquisition genesis." So not acquisition genesis, but all the acquisition related stuff. So he'll be it will be very happy with that, man.
Yeah, no, I gave him a shout out in his in my
Yeah,
post
yeah,
because
I saw.
he does deserve it. It's very good. Just there were so many
Yeah,
times it's like, oh yeah, that's a good idea, or like that's a
yeah.
good idea, and stuff like that. So yeah, like give a shout out to Bo. Bo does.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna tell him. I'm also mentioning our meet tomorrow. So yeah, no, that's amazing stuff, man. So yeah, that's quality. Talk to me, talk to me about the two niches because that's something I want to unpack further. So what's the story here? Because I didn't know this. Because again, for people watching this, I called Daniel a silent shark, and if you watched my interviews with other clients, this is the breed of people that they don't speak to me on school, and they pop up out of the blue with a massive win. So. Daniel, for context, I did not know he had two niches. So, Daniel, talk to us. What's the story here? Because this isn't something that we we typically teach. So, I'd love to know
Oh yeah,
how
yeah,
things.
that is very true. Yeah, it's not your fault. So where do I go with this? I need to try and like cover my back somehow. No, so we were with Cairo for a year, and we're still running
Yeah,
the Cairo. It bought like a last month a deal came in 2.3K, which was like a big mover for last month. Really, um, I knew like cold calling and being able to do it consistently and was a very good skill to be able to have, and I already had it, and I knew I could just do it. And I knew that Cairo wasn't the best way to do it, and so that was a big one as well. And I think now I probably wouldn't do it. I don't know if I would do it. It
yeah,
was only 4 months ago, but that was a big thing, knowing that I would be able to get consistent appointments, but by moving the niche, which has been very true. I've got a lot more sales experience
yeah,
because of it, because I could find
yeah,
a predictable system, and I already kind of had the skill, but then the course really elevated that for me.
yeah,
Um, I say that like I had cold called probably 80% of chiropractors in the UK, and I know I probably could have gone over them again, and I'm planning on moving to doing some Australian work, and then we're going to do because I'm going to Southeast Asia, which maybe we can touch on in a minute, doing the nomad stuff over there, and then I could go to America, and also I think it's been really helpful splitting up the workload between me and my business partner. So who's also my girlfriend, so she runs this like a little bit of service delivery, some appointment booking, and then just works like 6 hours a day, and then I can just really scale this up as fast as I can and just push as hard as I can and be all stressed and be all like salesy and pushy and businessy and have my own thing, right? And not put that pressure of having loads of clients and things coming on. And that was a big thing as well. And I think it also was allowed her to be able to kind of move up and take on more of a business owner role and have more control because it is hers. She's
yeah,
doing all the ads now, so does a lot of the client communication. I do the sales, but she does the appointment.
yeah, yeah,
And so I'm really so it split it up quite nicely, which has then allowed her to build skills that she wasn't going to be able to build with me
yeah.
only having maybe she would, but I felt like this was the best way to navigate it at the time. But I know that if Charlie was in school right now, he'd probably be telling me off.
Yeah, it's a. I'll be honest. I think you've made history with this one. Scaling to where you've scaled to two different niches. So yeah, that's funny, man. So how are you currently getting appointments with the Cairo agency? If,
Good
for
question.
example, cold calling is obviously working for the kitchen and remodeling stuff. So talk to me about the Cairo one, man. Cold calling didn't work. So what did you do
Yeah, so
instead?
we're literally implementing. So the Wellbe system isn't a thing anymore. I don't think in
Yeah,
EasyGrow because it's kind of been engulfed by DM Sorcery.
revamp. Yeah,
Yeah. Uh, so Francesca's doing a little bit of that, just a little bit. Like with that side, she can just do what she wants with it, and that's kind of like the nice way for it to be split. Like I'm going to take this to the moon, the kitchen side, and then like she can just step by step sort of take it where she wants it to go. And I still, yeah, so that's really it. And I do the sales for it. So mainly DMs, and we get a decent amount of referrals because the service delivery on Cairo side is really good, really solid, built out.
Quality. Yeah, that's quality. Do you think you'll ever go all in on one? Or
I
is
literally
it
had like a not a breakdown, like a real like I was trying to figure it out about a month ago, and I spoke to one of the guys in the course, Josh T. Shout out to him,
yeah,
and
shout out to Josh too.
he. This is a great thing about the course. Like it literally showed up in the course. Like he unpicked my brain from probably the things he learned in the course. He also is a fantastic communicator, and then talked me through it and was like, there was a reason why you picked to do it like this, and it did give me a lot of clarity of why it is a very good niche, the kitchen side, and I can get a lot of appointments. They have a good amount of money. Uh, do I think I would go one? I think it will get to the stage eventually where there will just be one, and it will just be
Yeah.
very separate. Francesca will do her. It is quite separate anyway right now. Like I don't do too much of the Cairo side, uh, but it's yeah, I'm still doing a decent amount for it.
Yeah.
So
You
yeah,
could
to answer
scale.
your question, I don't know. I think yeah, I'm not sure yet.
Yeah,
Probably
yeah. It's a good problem to have. It's a good problem to
it,
have.
it is. Yeah, it is nice, and they're both proven, which is I
Yeah.
guess is a nice thing about why I didn't because I could have gone on why I didn't just go all in because on one, which is probably a bad thing as well. But it's like if one I can scale one up really fast, but then have the other one. But yeah, it's probably like
It's
a weird coping
it's
mechanism of not wanting
well,
to fail.
it's interesting because it's also a great example of you just thinking for yourself here and you making a judgment call on your end, which is exactly what, and you'd know this, Daniel, we teach in acquisition genesis, where it's like pretty much how to think for yourself in your business, how to come up with your own metrics, data points, and how to make decisions that are tailored to your business. Because everyone's business situation is different. So it's great because obviously, as you know, we're heavy on niche, 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 niche. But clearly, you've assessed your situation here and you've gone, right, it's a bit of a weird one. Yes, Charlie, Noah, and Bo would tell me to bin one and just go with the other. But I'm going to go with my gut here and just keep two and just scale up. And to be honest, again, we don't advise that, but it's a great example of it being working so far and continuing to scale up. And it's a decision that you ultimately made.
Yeah, and it's one of those things like being 19, running the business is like I can make these mistakes, and I think that yes, I've probably made less money in the last 4 months because of it. I mean, probably if I had just gone stuck with Cairo and just gone heavy on that, maybe we would have made more money. But I've learned a lot of different skills, like selling to a different type of person, which will serve me for a long time,
Yeah.
and doing service delivery at a high level of it, and then I've actually been able to implement the stuff that I learned in kitchens into Cairo clients to get them better results because we never had to do that high level marketing like landing pages. We never even really did like stuff like the golden follow up system, implementing that for them as well, which we maybe wouldn't have been so proactive in doing and testing if I hadn't had the other niche.
Mm,
And it is still somewhat niche because it's the same service, so it's still somewhat scalable and like yeah, but
yeah.
it's done now. But it's potentially a mistake, but we're still moving forward
let's
as we
let's
can
see
see.
how you get on, man. We're gonna see what happens in school, and we'll probably advise further when you get to that point where you go, "Hey guys, what do I do? I've got two running here. I need to pick one." So yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Daniel, before we get into the fun stuff with talking about how life is now, I just want to get a pulse check on how the business looks now from a team and operation standpoint compared to how it looked before. So I'm assuming before it was just you and your business partner. How does the team look now that you've scaled up to a decent point? Is it just the two of you, or do you got like VAs in place, ISAs in place? Talk to me about the overall team structure, man.
It's just us.
Still just you, yeah?
Yeah, yeah, I know. Which is again, it probably goes into. I have a thing of again. I said this to Tebow once. I need to make a mess and clean it up, and
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not living by that yet. Like I am sort of, but I've got a lot of limiting beliefs I need to break and a lot of things I need to, and hiring is going to be a big step for me moving forward. Going into next year, going to be hiring, scaling up different systems. Um, but yeah, right now, and it kind of shows like what you can do just two people, and
Yeah.
it's quite cool, but I do know it's probably another one of like I don't think I'm a very good case study for doing it. How you should, because like right
Yeah,
now everyone like why don't I just hire three VAs and get them cold calling or sending DMs to me or something? And yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So but I
but
will be. It's on the
yeah.
cards. It's coming. Basically,
There's
yeah, you still make money.
That's it. No, there's two parts of this to this. The first, or two sides to this. The first side is it's amazing because loads of people in the online space, they just want to get in, outsource, 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 and avoid getting their hands dirty. Whereas in your case, you're at the point where you should outsource, and I'm going to advise you to do that. But you're getting stuck in. You got your hands dirty, and you've got a proof of concept on an individual level everywhere, from appointment setting, from sales to service delivery. And guess what? You now have a sense of power, control, autonomy, because your business is not going to be dependent on someone else. Where if you were to outsource and if they leave, what do you do? So it's amazing. On the other hand,
I was saying
however,
this to Josh.
well, once you do get a proof of concept, stuff like DMs and stuff, the copy and paste job, yeah, let's get that outsourced.
Yeah, I know. That's why I want to move into that system, and it will be coming for
Yeah,
the kitchen side.
that's
Um,
it.
but the curry side will just probably stay grow
Yeah.
organically. But I was saying it to Josh T. We're like Swiss Army knives.
Mm, yeah,
We just but I love it. You just have to. I don't really want to get out of the trenches.
yeah,
Like and yes, I don't feel like I really don't feel like I've earned it, and I never will. I'm one of those people that I kind of got burnt pretty bad when I went, and I will probably go into this a little bit more in the sort of lifestyle questions that are coming up. Uh, but I am one of those people, and it's quite a common trait. It's not that unique. That just wants to work and feels best when they're working, or they
yeah.
go to bed feeling that. I think Charlie quotes it conscientious guilt.
Mm,
And when if you haven't really pushed hard, then and even like with the silliest things, like if you go on too long of a walk or something, you're going to feel guilty when you go to bed or something.
yeah,
And so I think that I'll probably have that forever,
yeah.
which is not a
That's
bad
it,
thing.
man.
I've always kind of been like even at school and stuff like that.
That's good. That's really good. It's sort of like I always say, earn the right to outsource. But in my perspective, you've definitely earned that right. And I guess it's just an individual battle you've got to face there, man. But no, fantastic stuff. Um, Daniel, talk to me about, life, man. Obviously, when you're on the sales call with Hannah, she probably asked you the age-old, sales question of how would this make you feel if you got to your goal? What do you want to achieve? Why do you want this? And all the good stuff. So talk to me about how life looks after 4 months of joining and how things have changed for you, man.
Yeah, so it's one of those things that the business has allowed me to. So I was living at home last week, and then I'm in Spain for the month. So I'm here in Castellon, and I was at Valencia on the weekend, and then going out to Thailand in December, then go to Vietnam, Philippines, Bali, all that stuff, and then gonna come back and like really smash it. Like we're gonna be working. Like I'm gonna be still doing the trial by fire. Like I'm still doing it now, like today. Uh, and yeah, it's just I had to move out because the house was getting sold, and it just the business gave me that option to be able to do that, which is nice. Because it was either I was going to rent a place in England, spend the same amount of money, or just go to Spain, get a tan, even though it's the end of October.
That's it.
And it's kind of what I remember when me and Francesca we were walking back from school probably around 2, 3 years ago, and I was like, okay, yeah, what we can do is we can build a business. And it could probably make, and at the time, we said like 3K a month. And we can work online and we'll work like 8 hours a day. And then we can like go to the beach and we can live anywhere and it'll probably be quite cheap. And then now it's kind of like this right now, which is weird.
Yeah.
But also I don't feel, I'm quite glad I don't feel good. I don't really feel pride or that happy or anything. I just yeah, kind of want to just get on to the next one, make this the floor, and then yeah, go from there. But it is nice to just have the freedom to
Yeah.
just yeah be here.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. And you also just got a shotgun and you shot down my question after that. I was gonna say, and it's the one question I always ask people in my interviews, and they always give the same answer similar to you. I always ask, how does it feel, man? Like, how does it feel to get where you've gone? Because it's such a big thing. But then they always reply to me, oh yeah, not that much, no, still working. It's all I always expect some amazing answer and whatnot, but I never get it. So I'm still waiting on that. But no, it's amazing,
I
Daniel,
think
because
it's
like you said, you're always looking to the next goal where you appreciate how far you've come. But like you said, you're in trial by fire. You don't want to get complacent or comfortable. It's just leveling up, leveling up, leveling up.
yeah, I feel probably more pressure now, and I'm still worried, and I probably still forever will be unless I have like a million in the bank or multi-million, like when I have multi-millions in the bank. But then even
Yeah,
then, I was speaking to someone who he put like he very wealthy already, put a lot of money in the bank and locked it away for like 2 years, and then just put himself at zero, and then pushed his way, and then just like
wow,
restarted, and like just so like you have that you're back against the wall, which
yeah,
is probably like something that you should do. But I think if I got to this level, like I'm kind of terrified of getting to a level where I do feel happy and complacent. And
yeah,
like if I was really happy now and that was just not working right now and just was kind of chilling out, then yeah, that's kind of terrifying.
yeah. It kind of it's interesting because your satisfaction comes from the work itself because you're constantly leveling up. So it just goes beyond money at some point, and that's what I find interesting with Charlie and Bo, for example, where in the mastermind they shared this with some clients where, we want to get to 36 million a year, right? And then Charlie simply said, I want to get there simply to prove I can. And like he loves working, and that's the whole point of putting such a big number on where, money it's not really about the money because it doesn't make a difference beyond a certain point, but it's just that love for the work pretty much, and the love for leveling up.
Yeah, and I'm not there yet, I don't think. But no, I'm definitely not there yet. But I'm excited to be there. And it's just like it's almost just trying to prove that you can do it. Because I remember
Yeah,
saying to people, and this was a big learning lesson from the course for me, I'm gonna make 10K a month by the end of next year. Obviously, that was last year. So
yeah,
it's been, and I thought I was going to do that on my own. Obviously, it was one of those things you guys get it on sales calls all the time. I imagine the person who thinks that they're going to make 10K in 2 months, and they might. I'm not saying that,
yeah,
but on their own in 2 months, I don't know. There's a
yeah,
lot to there's a lot to do in to make 10K on your own in 2 months. It's definitely possible. The course I would assume,
yeah,
but not I don't think on your own. But I was that kid who thought he could, but it's probably one of the reasons why I'm here now because I thought I could.
yeah,
And
yeah,
but then it's also a big lesson from the course, which was my original point, which was you don't put timeframes on goals. Just do the daily action that will get you
that's
there.
it.
And that was a really, really, really big lesson for me.
Yeah,
And I've really implemented that now to pretty much most things. And I didn't say I was gonna. I kind of had a couple of goals of like, oh, I want to do it this year or in the back of my mind, but I probably shouldn't have because I maybe would have longed it out. Luckily, I haven't, or I would have just failed because that's the only real time you can fail is if you set a time
yeah,
frame that's maybe a little bit too much. But you learn
yeah,
in this in the course, which is stuff that you have to get burnt like I did, or you just someone just tells you.
yeah, that's it. And yeah, that's one of the biggest learnings um from Charlie that he preaches, and it's very interesting where it's like, don't put a time frame on the outcome because it just adds that externalized pressure on your day to day that you don't need because you're constantly calendar watching, clock watching. Oh my God, December's around the corner. What happened to my goals in January? Did I hit them? Did I not hit them? And it's like, the quality of your work is affected as a result because you're operating from a place of scarcity and pressure as opposed to, abundance and freedom, which results in higher quality inputs, which results in the outcome that you desire. So yeah, it's a really, really, really interesting one, and it's a massive, massive shift. Daniel, you mentioned, sorry, Daniel, go ahead. You were going to say
Yeah.
something.
It's I think Charlie, the way he puts it, and I need to embody this way more. This is what I'm saying. Like, I've got so long to go, but I think it's nice for maybe people who are watching to realize that look at me and just go. You can do okay
Yeah,
and still have a lot of faults and have a long way to go. Like I've got a long way to go. that you can still make money, be in Spain,
That's it.
and travel and pay for some stuff, whilst having a really long way to go. And Charlie's the way he puts it's really good is don't have a time frame, but work in the day, like the goals you have to hit tomorrow. I love that. And
Hmm.
I need to embody that way
Yeah,
more. It's just like get up and go and just push, push, push. Like you have to achieve the goals tomorrow, but you don't.
yeah.
So that you feel, and another one is feel the present.
Hmm.
Feel the present, like right now, feel the present.
Yeah, because that's all you can control. So yeah, amazing stuff, man. You mentioned you were burnt. So talk to me about the situation there. Was it
I
another
burnt by
program?
myself.
Oh, burnt by myself. I'm thinking, right, did he have another business partner or another program that done that? Or...
No, I burnt myself. I burnt myself by telling myself that I was going to reach 10K last
Oh, got
year.
you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, and that's
That's
kind of
it.
yeah, that's how I got burnt.
That's that's
Burnt
another
myself.
another dangerous thing outside of the pressure you put on yourself. You get a false sense of dopamine.
That's the
Talk
point. That's the
talking
point.
about something, right? And it's like when you talk about something to others, you're like, wow, this is great. But then you don't actually do it. And I'm guilty of this myself. I remember, you
I'm
know,
guilty of this right now. I'm doing it right
yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah. So it's like, we speak about certain things to friends and then months go by. It's like, what happened to that thing I said I was gonna start? It's like, oh, I spoke about it. I got a sense of fulfillment and I just parked it aside. And that's what always happens, especially in the online business world, where it's like you feel some type of way telling people, I'm an online business owner. I'm gonna get 10K per month. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And then months go by, it's like, what's happening? Nothing's happened. So yeah.
And that is you really hit the nail on the head there. That is the key. Like you get the dopamine. That's why all these guys, that's why it's very common that we all stay silent because we don't
Yeah,
want the
yeah,
dopamine. And I didn't want to do the post. And but the thing is, and kind of like I was speaking to someone else in the course who doing that, if you do that for long enough, though, it will build enough pain for you to take action. And so someone else, of course, I won't say who it was because obviously it's a bit of a personal thing, but
yeah.
he like if you don't do it for long enough, it will cause the pain that then you will get there
Yeah.
because you'll just be everyone will be watching, and that's kind of what happened to me. Like everyone in my family was like 10K last year. What's going on? And now I've done it, but now I just need to push. But now I'm just like I got this
Yeah,
quote.
that's it.
I got this quote. I don't do this. I do this, which is like
Yeah.
I don't bark. I bite.
Yeah,
I,
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna take that one.
I actually really like. I don't know. I literally haven't seen it from anyone else. So yeah, maybe we should make it a thing. So yeah, none of
I don't,
this. All
I
that.
don't- That's quality. Yeah, that's amazing. But no, that's exactly it, man. And yeah, that's why I'm super grateful to have you on here because it just shows what can be achieved in silence. And again, to people watching, it's funny because Daniel, I would have no idea what's going on in Daniel's bloody business because he doesn't post on school. So when he did post and he reached out saying he had a massive win, it was a fantastic surprise to all of us. Not because we doubted Daniel, but because we don't know where he went after he signed. So yeah, there you go, man. That's incredibly true. Daniel, question for you on the mindset side of things. Because obviously one of the biggest things is when it comes to succeeding is the mindset side of things. So I want to ask you, how does version one of Daniel look like compared to the version I'm speaking with right now? What identity shift did you have to make in order to succeed? Like, were there any limiting beliefs that you used to have that you no longer have? Were there any bad habits that you had that you no longer have? Talk to me about the Daniel I'm speaking to right now, compared to the Daniel that, you know, joined the program fresh.
The talking one was a big one.
Yeah.
The talking one was a really big one, and there's quite a few. Focusing on the thing and like the resistance stuff in the trial by fire. The resistance stuff that was like a big mover for me. That's been like on the mindset side, huge. And I feel like I'm like Daniel version point one point 1.2. So I was one point. Like it's there has been changes. Just you probably don't see it yourself, maybe. But I
Yeah.
was like I don't think that I was or am locked in. But probably if I look back and all my family and what they saw, I was. And so it was
Yeah.
just like focusing on the thing as well that moves the needle was key. And the biggest thing was just trial by fire. Like that one video in itself, like it's just really where the biggest needle move was. And just like when you feel resistance, work.
Yeah.
That's a really big one. And I'm still doing it that now. I haven't conquered it. I'm still got to fight it every day.
Yeah.
I think even
Amazing
Charlie
stuff.
says he fights it every day.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Like, especially when you're constantly chasing a big goal, you have to. Like, otherwise, you're just gonna stay comfortable and regress, or not go anywhere. Um, so yeah, that's amazing, man. Daniel, as we sort of wrap up the client interview here, actually, before I ask that, I wanted to ask you, right, we've hit, what do you call it, 13K USD. What's your next goal? What's the big goal you want to achieve?
But 30K,
Yeah.
yeah, no time frame though.
Yeah, yeah. 30K. There we
Yeah,
go, man.
30K, and yeah, so no time frame. Hiring, just I kind of want to get this side of the world of Southeast Asia done. That's where I'm going after this. And then after that, I feel like I'll have a lot of clarity because me and my girlfriend have been talking about it for a long time about going there.
Yeah,
And so yeah, that's kind of just work out there and yeah, hit the numerical numbers 30 and then
yeah.
go up and up.
Yeah, amazing stuff, man. Well, look, I know you're a man that doesn't really want to reflect and pause because you want to keep on going and whatnot, but I hope you and your girlfriend get some time to really just take a pause. Remember that conversation you had walking to school talking about this because now it's a reality and that'd be amazing for you to have. And, just do it for me, if anything. Just take a moment to reflect for me. But no, amazing stuff, man. Amazing. Daniel, as we wrap this one up now, typically two groups of people that watch this interview. First of which are current clients, many of which you obviously know because you
Yeah,
speak
what's
to a
up,
couple of
boys? I know
them.
you're probably all watching.
That's it. Shout out to them. And then to people that are on the fence, maybe they've had a call, they're thinking about it, maybe they haven't even booked a call, but they're just, looking through these interviews, the testimonials, all that good stuff, and they're thinking about joining. Let's start off with the current clients. What would you say to current clients in terms of the best advice you can give in terms of succeeding? Almost as if you were speaking to yourself when you first joined the program.
When feel resistance do work,
Hmm.
that's the big one. Just do work. As long as you do that and you work on the thing, I don't really think you can fail. As long as you do that for months and months on end, you really can't. I just don't think you can fail.
Yeah,
So yeah, quite quite
perfect.
quite a quite a simple thing.
Simple but effective. But no, you're right because I see it as well where in the community, and you've probably seen this, a lot of people will have procrastination problems, mindset problems, etc., etc. And it's like if you can just knuckle down and just work for extended periods of time, even if it may not necessarily be the right direction, the work you're doing course corrects anyway, because you're just never stopping.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's like I was saying to someone else the other day who reached out after my post. What else are you going to do? Like, what else are you going to do? Because if you don't, like, for me, if I went to the beach, like, yeah, there's a really nice beach just over there
Yeah.
with nice palm trees, white sand, Mediterranean, everything like that. If I go there, I would hate myself. And like, so if you like watch, like, I couldn't imagine like watching TikTok or something. But if you do that, like, imagine how you're
Yeah.
going to feel. Like, there's nothing else out there for
Yeah.
you to do. So you might as well just work.
Yeah. That's
And then
it.
take a bit of time off as well. Like, I take one day a week off usually, or like
Yeah.
I probably take about 10 hours off my waking time a week.
Yeah.
And usually I just like put sleep.
Yeah. There you go. So that's it. Nice and simple, guys. People watching this that are already part of the program. Um, just do the work. Just do the work and the excuses that you're having with procrastination, all that stuff. Just eliminate distractions and just crack on.
And also
So
get
yeah.
competitive.
Yep.
Get competitive with other people, and just like find you don't need to know everyone, but just find a few people, and just tell each
Yeah,
other your wins, and it's gonna
yeah.
you'll notice. You'll you'll see this.
Get competitive with yourself as well. I think I
Yeah,
spoke to Tebow who's good at this. I think you know the
Devo's one of the
Tebow.
boys.
We
Yeah,
went to
yeah, yeah.
be shout out to
Oh,
Tebow. I
he
think
loves pain too much, man. That
he
guy.
loves it. There, yeah. I've done an interview with Tebow. Shout out to Tebow. It's funny because he made a post like last month about sales conversion rate or something, and he said he said he wanted to what's it called? He said he wanted to improve it by this percent or whatnot. And I just knew he made the push, like, right, I'm gonna fix this, blah blah. And I just knew he'd be fine. I just knew, yeah, you'll be fine, T, but I already know you. Literally 1 month later, I think a few days ago, he made a post saying, yep, crushed it. 15 days already closed like 20K or something. I'm like,
He's one of the people who I like most with.
so he's a great example for people watching this of someone that's like competing with himself, literally, like, and it's amazing what you can do. So yeah, shout out to Tebow for being a good live example of that. Um,
I'm
so yeah.
like, yeah, I speak to Tebow quite a lot, and yeah, he loves pain. He
Yeah.
loves pain, which is the
He
key.
loves it.
And I love pain as well. But yeah,
Yeah.
he's like it's just so like me and him get on quite well. Well, I'd like to
Yeah.
think maybe he'll say something
Yeah.
different, but I think
Oh
me and him
man.
get on quite well. But he's yeah, he's an absolute savage because I remember
Yeah.
I saw that post as well, and like yeah, I think you
Prime
can just
example.
tell. You can
Yeah.
tell. It's just like you can. I noticed it very quickly, even with the guys who are a little bit lower.
Mm.
You can see it. Just one conversation, and you'll know like that
Yeah.
person's gonna be good. And I think
Yeah.
people used to say that about me, and then I was speaking to someone. I was speaking to Jonathan about this. People used to say that about me. People say it about him, and that puts the pressure on because you still have to work. Everyone thinks and knows you're going to be successful,
Yeah.
but you still have to do the work, which adds that pressure, which I think is good.
Yeah, that's it. And that's a great point you make because like people, it's not necessarily, it doesn't matter if you don't have the numbers just yet or the appointments just yet. If we can see that the inputs are being done, success is going to be a natural byproduct of that. And that's like you've probably seen it for yourself, Tebow, all the client interviews that we had. We've got Carl, for example. Shout out to Carl. I know he'd watch this, but I need to get a client interview with him. But he's been working for 11 months straight,
Carl's smashing it.
asking questions in school, joining Will's coaching calls, taking action. And now I think he had like a 10K week out of the blue. I'm like,
Yeah, he
Carl,
did. He did. Yeah, it was
when
crazy.
did that happen, Carl? But again, it's amazing we're speaking about this because he's a prime example of that. Where it's like the numbers weren't there for an extended period of time, but no doubts in our mind because he was showing up, working and whatnot. And now look, so yeah, man, amazing stuff.
And I
To
think that's the
be,
good thing about the course to just
yeah,
get into that group because like, all the people you're mentioning, like they're all people I speak to,
yeah, that's it,
and you'll come up. You'll come up because if you don't,
that's
then
it.
you get to feel it when you know
And they
that
got,
person's made 10K. Like I was speaking to someone else. I don't know. I think he isn't EasyGrow. I'm not 100% sure. But like 20K day,
yeah,
20K day, and it's just like, bro, what the heck?
yeah.
It, yeah,
It's amazing because surrounding yourself, and this comes back to the community as well. You surround yourself with people, you network with other students and whatnot, you become friends with them, you become acquaintances, whatever, and it's like the people around you, they're gonna drag you up. Like whether you like it or not, they're gonna drag you up and it's gonna force you to grow. And yeah, I know Tebow is a prime example. I know he's telling people to yo, you need to get on this level, this, that, because I know he does it for himself as well. And it's uber
yeah.
competitive. But you need those people, man. It goes a long way. So it's
I don't
great
know if you
to
saw in my post. Pretty much as at the bottom of my post. Yeah, can you see what it says about to Jonathan? It says
let me see.
that I say to him, and I don't know if he'll watch this. He probably is watching it.
Give me the push to make the post here at the top. I'll throw you up. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
Jonathan's
you're
recently started.
right.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to Jonathan, man. But even Jonathan, I spoke to Jonathan. I know he's only been with us for a short while. He's getting his hands dirty. Client signed, all these things. He come to my coaching call. I think one or two. He came to one coaching call. Then the next time I went on holiday, the next time I saw him, he's got like 4 clients under his belt. I'm like, oh shit, you got him moving, man. So that's it's no surprise that he's liaising with you and all the other guys.
Yeah, and yeah, like it's just he's one of those guys. It's very obvious. You can see, and
Yeah,
he'll be on one of these
that's it.
videos. I would
Hundred,
like
hundred,
100%.
hundred
He'll
percent,
he'll be on one of these videos.
100%, 100%. So yeah, amazing stuff, man. And then obviously the second group of people, Daniel,
Yes.
people that are on the fence. Um, maybe it's almost like speaking to yourself when before you joined, maybe you had some reservations and whatnot. What would you say to those people that have yet to join the program and they're thinking of joining, but they haven't for whatever reason?
Yes, I guess that I was probably I kind of been most of the people where it would be. So like somewhat established. And if you're early on, you just have to think about if you buy this now and you spend the money, do you think in 3 years from now you'll be making two, three, four times more per month or per year than what you would be doing if you didn't? And it's very obvious it's a yes. Like, do you think you'll be further ahead making how much the course costs by buying it in a year from now? You are. You're going to be further ahead. It's inevitable as long as you do the work, and the course helps you
Yeah,
with that. And so if you're 100% sure that this is what you want to do, and you don't have to be 100%, but no matter what, even if you don't do an agency forever, and I'm not going to run an agency forever. I want to. I, I'm using this as a tool to learn business skills.
yeah,
And but if you want to run an agency forever or you don't, then you're just going to learn the skills you need a lot quicker. And so
yeah,
even if you don't make 10K in your first month, it's like you're going to see it eventually as long as you just keep at it.
yeah,
And so, and then to talk about a person who's like, if you're making 2, 3K a month already, just do it. It's just like, it's very obvious, just do it. Because if you're not willing to invest in yourself, then why would your clients invest with you? You sell as you buy. That's what Jack says.
yeah.
And
Shout out to Jack.
so, shout out to Jack, big shout out to Jack. So you sell as you buy. And so if you're not going to be willing to invest in yourself, then, and if you're on the call and you're like that, the reps will call you out. So yeah, you'll
Yeah,
get caught out
yeah.
if you,
Enjoy that.
yeah. So you sell as you buy, and if you want to be successful with this, then you probably need to be willing to invest in yourself. Because
Yeah,
I would probably like over tens of thousands of pounds over the last few months into myself because I have me. This is so for the moment, like right now, investing in me is the best thing. Eventually, it'll be investing in staff and ads and that. But right now, it's me because
yeah.
don't have business problems, you have personal problems for executing your business.
Yeah, that's it. Amazingly put, man. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the interview. Was an incredible interview. I'm gonna call this part one, like I said to Daniel before we started recording, because we're only getting started here. And again, for people that are watching this, Daniel's achieved this in 4 months, so he hasn't even scratched the surface, and there's so much more to come. So be on the lookout for part two. I'm gonna, stay on Daniel and see if he'd be open to that when he's continuing to scale to the moon and doing his international travels. With Francesca, and it'd be good to get Francesca on if she's open to it as well. But
I don't know about that. Probably not. No.
she prefers. I know both of you prefer to stay silent, so I'm grateful that I managed to get you on.
Go
So
on.
yeah, that's it. There we go. All right, sweet. So keep an eye out for part two, guys. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the client interview.
Well, thank you very much for having
Yeah,
me. Like,
of course, man. Of
thank you so
course.
much, man. And your questions are very good. And yeah, if you could always go into sales and do your line of questioning because
No,
you smashed that, bro.
so, listen, man. We done a 3 day career in sales, then I transitioned to ops, but that's a private story. But yeah, to anyone watching this, I hope you found this interview valuable. If you are someone on the fence and you've yet to join us, I'll
Buy easy grow.
preface this by saying, sorry, you need to go.
Buy no, I said buy easy grow.
Oh, buy EasyGrow. I thought you just cut in saying, "Yo, I need to go
No, no,
now."
no, yeah, no. I got it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, buy EasyGrow, but I was gonna say, I always say this line, Daniel, and I think you know Tebow, so you can even ask Tebow because I said this line when he was on my interview. I say, if you're someone that wants immediate success, you want to take a magic pill, and you think EasyGrow is that magic pill that you're gonna eat and boom, Ferraris, fast cars, international travel like Daniel here and it's a pill that will give you all of these things without any work whatsoever. This program is not for you. And I'm going to do my due diligence here and let you know that in advance because I don't want to sell you a dream where no work is required. Okay. So if you're looking for that fast track success, instant, gratification with no work whatsoever, then this isn't for you. And if you do manage to find that pill somewhere, let me know, send it my way. I'd love that immediate success with no work. Okay. But if you are someone, and again, Daniel can attest for me here because he's a prime example of one of the clients we have that have done this. If you are someone that's willing to follow a proven framework, get the right resources in place, get the right support in place, and you are willing to put in the work, then there's no reason for you to not succeed with us. And Daniel is a prime example of that. So if you are someone that's willing to work and you just need a proven framework to follow, then feel free to book a call with us, and we can find out a bit more about your business and whether it makes sense. And again, Daniel, I'm sure you'll agree with me here. If you want instant magic pill, Jack and the Beanstalk type of stuff,
No such thing.
no such
You don't want it
thing.
anyway. You don't want it because you would, yeah, it would drive you crazy if you couldn't work. Well, for
Yeah,
me at least, it would drive me crazy.
that's
I couldn't
it.
work.
The fulfillment's in the work. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you're willing to work and you're willing to follow a proven framework, book call with us and we can help. And yeah, I think this is now the 82nd interview that we now have on the website, and I'm keeping count. So be sure to check out all the other interviews if you're still on the fence and you want to hear different perspectives, and you can check that out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching this. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers. Bye.
Thank you very much, Noel.